Hello and welcome to Tyre and Rubber Recycling Podcast 67. In this episode, we will be talking to one of the founders of the Circular Rubber platform, Enrico Koggel. The platform aims to bring together people in the rubber industry and people in the recycling industry to create more opportunities and partnerships to build that circular rubber economy that we all want. But enough of that, and let's go over to Enrico. Okay, so Enrico, tell me about a circular a rubber platform. What is it?
Yeah, good question. So we started the Circular Rubber platform as an online community for people in the rubber industry that were curious about how to make the impact of the rubber products we design lower. I realized as a product engineer that rubber is mainly produced from oils, and rubber recycling is rather low if you look at the global markets. So what we realized is we needed to find solutions rather than problems, and we started to list these solutions in an Excel sheet. And after a while, we found a lot of people that were also interested in this and wanted to share knowledge with us. And we realized it would be stronger as a community. So therefore, end of last year, we started to think of it as a community, and we wanted to centralize solutions on rubber circularity, so recycling and renewable raw materials, and how to apply these materials and yeah, centralize information and supporting networking in this industry.
Okay, why do you feel that it is needed?
Well, as I mentioned, most rubber is synthetic. In the world, about 32%, I think, is natural rubber, and 68% would then be synthetic rubber, so oil-based. A lot of other raw materials and rubber compounds are also oil-based, like carbon black, for example, produced by either natural oil or natural gas. And so the dependency on fossil materials is quite big. And secondly, rubber is not recycled that much, at least not back into rubber products. And as a rubber engineer for OEM customers, I really wanted to incorporate sustainable materials in it. And then I found it was very, very challenging. So therefore, I think recycling and renewable raw materials are important.
Okay, and did you feel that professionals in the rubber industry and in the recycling industry weren't communicating with each other?
That's a very good question. I didn't know. So basically, I started this whole endeavor from my own perspective, together with my co-founder, Jan Boomsma. So we are both from the engineering side, and we work closely with compounders and then with product producers. So until a year ago, I wasn't even familiar with the tire industry as much, also not with the recycling industry. And I did my own research trying to find indeed a lot of companies that were active in this industry. And the more you search, the more you know, and the more you know, the more you don't know, as Aristotle would say. So I wasn't aware if these companies were speaking with one another, but what I did know is that it wasn't done in a very, very big scale as far as I could find. So therefore, I thought like, okay, within my circle of impact, I can at least try to make these companies meet. And I have to admit that indeed in discussions later on, I spoke with a lot of production companies that are, for example, still landfilling or incinerating their production waste, confirming to me that not everybody knows rubber is recyclable to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think a lot of there's no simple answer, but it does appear that some of the people with technologies are not as as good at getting the message across to their market as they might be. You mentioned a production waste. Well, I would have thought that a priority would be to minimize production waste. And if you have production waste, then you know exactly what it is. And if you know what it is, it makes it easier to recycle. So what you then need to look for is the technology that turns that production waste back into a usable product. The technology is there. It just doesn't seem to be reaching the market it needs to reach. So maybe you have got um, a tool, a platform there that can help make that happen.
Yeah, yeah. I think what is very important here is the fact that there's a lot of innovation all around the world on this specific topic. So there's university groups, there's certain production companies that are developing new technologies and new materials to enhance rubber recycling. And in order to stay up to date, you need to go to a lot of conferences worldwide to really know for sure that the latest startup has developed a certain technology, for example. So I definitely believe that there's more innovation than meets the eye, and that it would be very difficult for every production company to keep themselves up to date. So that's why we thought it would be great to have a center place for information on these technologies, on these materials that come from it, and what to do with them afterwards. Ideologically speaking, putting it back into the same product as you mentioned from a production company. So what I see is that there's a lot of technology advantage or advanced technology in different places, in different locations, and but not everybody is using this to the fullest. And it is also a matter of scale. So a lot of technologies require a huge amount of material to be processed. So you need to collect waste together and use one system. If you look at tire recycling, you need a whole plant in order to finance or get a return on investment within a normal amount of time. So with that, well, first of all, that knowledge about the latest technologies. With a centralized platform for people, companies, and technologies, it's also possible to form collaboration and to find each other and basically create a bigger amount of waste of a material, a certain material size or sort, and basically maybe collaborate on recycling these types of materials. And that way you could actually achieve this scale that you need in order to recycle certain material streams.
Okay, I noticed from your website that you have a number of internet meetings arranged for your members. Will these meetings focus on specific topics, specific targets?
Yeah, great question. Well, it has to be noted that we just started this year. So we slowly, throughout the year, we started to collect members more and more, and we just achieved more than 50 members not too long ago. Until then, the meetings were very focused on showing these new companies that joined the community, showing what they did in order to make each other findable. And these meetings are also recorded for new members that can view back the previous meetings and the previous introductions. From starting from next year, we will also do a focused meeting, so basically thematic meetings on specifically recycling, on specifically renewable raw materials and the application of them, and application of recycled raw materials as well. So next year we will see that because we grow bigger, because we attract more and more people from different regions, we will have more thematic meetings as well. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how the big question is always going to be, how is this financed?
Yeah, great question. So, because we want to keep an independent information platform, we decided on a membership fee. And that membership fee basically means that as soon as it kind of creates a critical mass, the members will pay for the platform, and the platform will basically share knowledge and information on that. So that's exactly how we finance this. So everybody, individuals, companies, and universities pay a membership fee to be represented on the platform, to join these meetings, to get information, but also to get direct contact details from one another. So it's really a networking and knowledge sharing platform that is basically funded by the people that will benefit most from using it. And on the side, we also gathered quite some information now. We also help our members directly. So members can hire us basically to search for specific materials, services, or technologies, or let them find specific information that they might have. This is something new that we're offering right now. As we are young, you need to grow before you can offer stuff.
Okay. And where do you see this going in the future?
So the goal of the platform is really to make a measurable impact. And where I see the platform growing is basically it's not really limited to a certain amount of members. Knowing in Europe, there's a little bit over 4,000 companies in the rubber industry. The US, a market that we're also focusing on, also over 2,000. So there's plenty of companies that would be interesting for us to have on the platform to let them share their support to a circular rubber economy. But what to me and to my colleagues as well matters most is really trying to or divert the rubber waste going to landfill and recycling this to increase the use of bio-based materials. So a future goal for us is really to make a measurable impact, and that would actually be yeah, that would be really a goal. To put numbers on it is very difficult because we didn't get into projects so clearly. Um, but I think, yeah, getting a global platform on rubber circularity, that's something we're working on, and which is also already achieving small milestones. We have members from uh, 6 continents at the moment, 21 countries. So we're achieving quite a global membership follower base now. And yeah, we just focus on growing more and more. Yeah.
Okay. It's I think this type of platform is probably very much needed. Um, there are bodies that represent recyclers, but I'm not sure that they make the connection with industry that they really need to make. Um, so somebody coming at it, as it were, from the other end and saying, "Look, we want to recycle rubber. We want to understand better how we can do this. We want to make this more circular." Uh, if the two can come together, then it should bring a good future for everybody. One of the things that has puzzled me over the years is we see research being done, and
Mhm.
the and we see the same research or similar research being repeated, and nothing ever seems to come of it. I did speak to one uh, engineer at a rubber firm, and he said, "Look, we've got this product here. It's been researched, it's been approved, but we cannot get it to market."
Mhm.
Uh, that company on its own doesn't have the capacity to reach out to that bigger market. And I think that's something that gets repeated many times in many industries, where small
Mhm.
companies, small businesses have great ideas, but they don't have that capability to take it to market. And of course, it's not recycling is not always something that investors want to get involved in because they don't understand it, and it's a lot of it to them is low tech.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's yeah, to get back on that, first of all, I would like to say indeed is that there's a lot of technologies on the market already, and there's a lot of compounders, and there's a lot of product producers. And what one of the goals of our platform is basically to bring these people together and to make them understand that they're depending on one another, especially as soon as material goes in a loop. Because then basically, if you deliver a high quality, you hope that the high quality comes back as well. And so we realized that within a circular rubber economy, you would really need to collaborate with the whole supply chain. And that's why we work as a community rather than motivating one company per one company. And we also make all these companies basically aware of their location in the supply chain and how they can basically benefit from being aware of where they are. And secondly, indeed, there's so many companies with a small or small companies with a new technology, a new feed, a new material that they would like to implement. There's many research groups at universities that develop bio-based or renewable raw materials that can be implemented in the rubber industry, but have no idea how to reach the industry giants, let's say. And to be fair, I don't know how to reach them as well. But at least we have gathered some very, very big and renowned companies already in the rubber industry that know their way. And this is where we use our skill of finding these new technologies, new materials, new universities, and finding them, presenting them on the platform, and making them known to these bigger companies that we also attracted on the platform already. And indeed, it's hard for a university professor or for a researcher to find this new material and being very happy about it and seeing a lot of potential, but then getting it to the market. And my goal would be in a year or 2 years from now that it would be super easy to present your technology to these industry giants and immediately get it or let it be picked up as it should be. And this is also why we connect and network a lot with universities because I already see certain projects that are interesting and promising. I also see immediately the challenges that they will face with their market introduction, and therefore we can already help them a little bit how to work that up. So it's I think the lessons learned from everybody in this supply chain could benefit every new market introduction or technology utilization globally. Because we do attract startups from Europe or the United States, but that also could have a potential in the other continent, for example. So that's also definitely a benefit of our global approach.
Yeah. Okay. It's as I say, it's good to talk, and I think that partnerships are the way ahead. Cooperation is the way ahead. Um, the the big players are starting to show an interest in recycled materials and in recycling. But even so, if you're not in their group, then you're still going to struggle. So there still needs to be an independent way of developing the markets, talking to each other, developing technology. So I wish you guys luck.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I definitely look forward to meet in person again and discuss your view on this market and see how we can benefit both from exploring our experiences so far. Yours 20 times more than mine, so I'm very yeah looking forward to pick your brain on some.
So there we have it, the circular rubber platform, a body coming from the rubber manufacturers, rubber producers, rather than the recyclers. I hoping to bring together people with ideas and technologies to leverage synergies to create that better and bigger circular rubber economy. Okay, so if you enjoy watching the Tyre and Rubber Recycling podcasts, don't forget you can subscribe to Tyre and Rubber Recycling magazine, or you can follow us on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, and X. That's all for today, and we'll see you again shortly with podcast 68. Take care, and we'll see you soon.